Greetings once again. This is Stan Hustad and another little adventure, little taste, a little tip into what it takes to be successful in life and business today. And today I just briefly want to talk to you about something that you're probably carrying around with you. You perhaps use quite often, maybe you use all the time. Some of you are unfortunately addicted to it. Well, that may be good in some cases, but usually it's not. Addictions are very helpful to almost nothing. However, we want to turn it into something that's a little bit more of an attachment to something that is good and useful. And that is what over half the people now have, and within a few years almost everybody will have, the proverbial smartphone, iPhone, or the varieties of things that come from that. Have you ever thought about how this can be helpful and useful to you? Well, many of you have, but I'm just going to simply ask you to think about a couple things that you may not have actually used before. First of all, what we now discover is that the video recording. Now, I do a lot of work in video and radio. I'm a broadcaster. I know this. I've done radio and TV broadcasting for many, many years. And I go back to the days when if I would have a microphone like this, it would have cost me maybe $1,000, and now it's practically a giveaway price, in which video cameras cost maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. And now, here you have a very high quality, high definition video recorder, which is just part of the telephone that you use or the mobile communication device you use. In fact, many of you don't even have a computer anymore. You simply have a tablet or you use your phone. Now, that's vital, that's important. For instance, I was teaching one person how to do this. Oftentimes when people come into his office, they have some complimentary things to say. He does good work, he really helps people, and from time to time they'll thank him and they'll compliment him. And he said, you know, it really would be nice if I could get that written down and then maybe perhaps put it on my website. And I said, take your phone and ask them, with their permission, could you record them saying that nice word of commendation or recommendation? And he looked at me and said, oh! And I said, then with your permission, you can send that to people, you can put it on a website, and you can use it as part of your wonderful other people marketing strategy. And it won't cost you anything to do that. You can put it on YouTube, you can put it on a variety of situations, you can send it on Periscope, there's all kinds of things you can do. And I have suggested this to a number of business people, and they have been totally dumbfounded. Oh, I never thought of that. I mean, I've been in broadcasting a long time, and to carry a video camera around, you really had to carry it around, and now I can have a very quality video recording that is right in my pocket. One of my friends demonstrated, he actually did a video in which the same subject was being shot. I mean, it was him talking. One of them was a $4,000 prosumer camera, and the other was the iPhone. Now, was the $4,000 camera better? Yeah, a little bit. But you know what? It didn't make that much difference. In fact, the one that was a little bit less professional, had a little less pizzazz to it, actually was more relational and a little more believable. And all he used was this, his smartphone camera. I also have discovered that you can actually be in the broadcast business. Now, many of you may not know this, but texting and emailing are not the best ways to communicate. I'm going to say that right now. Texting and emailing are not the best ways to communicate. First of all, those are made for information. You want to be in a relationship. Communication is not information, it's not data, it's not education, it's a relationship. Here's what we have discovered. If something is important, it really needs to be heard. It does. In fact, that is the primary way we connect. And those of you who are in sales and marketing, we've now discovered that the part of the brain that is most responsive in responding in such a way that we take action is primarily stimulated, or at least engaged, by sound. And so that's why when you put good pictures with good sound, you make it multi-sensory. And if you have the warmth of a personal intimacy or relationship or connection, that makes it even more powerful. So I oftentimes tell people, pick up the phone. Instead of trading emails or trading text messages, which are totally transactional one way, you don't have the ability to really connect or hear or have the nuance that often involved. And it takes more time. Pick up the phone. P-U-T-P. All right? That's vital. Think about that. I know, I text too, but I only text for information. If I want to really have a conversation, if I want to really have some communication, I pick up the phone. Now sometimes that doesn't work as well, so here's another thing that I have learned that people love and they really appreciate. I use my iPhone, okay, your smartphone. Almost all of them have a little memo factor where you can actually go in and you can make an audio memo. And so you can play it back or listen to it. Or have you noticed that you can send it on? Now, I have actually checked out that when I use my iPhone, and if I place it just right, okay, and if I'm careful about it and speak clearly, I can make a MP3 or an M4A audio file that is close to broadcast quality. That's not full broadcast quality, but it's certainly above and beyond the usual things that people hear. And so what I am now starting to do is I send audio postcards to people. And what I simply do is I make a memo to them. Hi, this is Stan. Hey, it was really good to see you. I really enjoyed it. Hey, I have an idea that might be helpful to you, and so I just wanted to pass it on to you. And I give them the story or the information. Or I have a request. I'd love if we could do that. I'd be grateful if. And what I do is they then don't have to pick up the phone and listen at my convenience when I call them. I then send it to them as an email attachment, and I call an audio postcard, and I say, please just punch the icon and listen to it at your convenience. AYC, at your convenience. I have found that people really appreciate that. They hear it. It's more of an experience. It's more engaging. They don't have to read it and think about, particularly if they're in the car someplace and they know they shouldn't be reading it or they shouldn't be responding to it, they can just lay it down and listen to it. Oftentimes in my coaching and consulting, what I've simply done is rather than writing out my report to them, I will send it to them. I learned that a number of years ago that people really appreciated not having to read through a 10-page report. But you know what? They could take that cassette or they could take that audio file, they could put it in their car player, they could put it on their seat, and they could just listen to it. And they also knew, as one of my clients said, I also know that when you send me an audio message, I'm the only one who has it. And that message or that memo or that letter, which might be quite strong and helpful use, is not sitting around for somebody else like a custodian or a secretary or an associate or even a client or customer to accidentally pick up and see what you say. It's very confidential. And then I can listen to it. I can listen to it again. I have had people say to me, Stan, I really appreciated some of your help, and so I actually will just keep it there and I'll listen to it 2 or 3 times. I've often done a little motivational talk where someone says, well, when I'm going in for a sales appointment, I just kind of listen to your little counsel. There you go. And what is that costing me? This highly relational marketing, consulting, communication. It's costing me nothing. It's simply part of what I have. My mobile communication device, which is actually a portable little TV station. It's also now a place where I can do a little broadcasting. I could send this out to a variety of people. I can even take it back and then make it into a podcast, an internet radio program, and I do that all the time. I don't always have to worry about an interview. I can interview somebody with my phone and then use that in the broadcasting I do. Have you ever thought about that? That's what I'm encouraging you to do. Part of what it's going to take for you to be successful in your business career is to stop using this just as an emailing, texting, game playing, music playing piece of entertainment. But you're going to use it as a way of making the most important and powerful connections you can. That's what you can do. And I'm going to encourage you to learn how to do it well. Again, my name is Stan Hustad, and you can reach out to me. This is part of our series of all kinds of tales, stories, strategies on what it takes to be successful in life and business today. And I hope you'll join me again as we find out more about what it takes. All the best, blessings to you, and bye for now.